So today I'm gonna take on the challenge of cooking. So I don't really know how to cook. I know how to cook basic dishes, like I can get along fine if I live by myself. But after basic dishes that I know, it gets boring. So today my mom is gonna help us. We're gonna make a healthy lunch. So we're gonna make some ground beef. It's in Spanish, it's called carne molida en salsa de cabbage. I just lost the word for cabbage. You get my point. Okay, so in English it translates to ground beef with cabbage sauce, basically. So it's it gives flavor to the ground beef gives flavor to the cabbage. So a lot of cabbage, so that's healthy. And then the ground beef, make sure you have a lot of lean, less fat. So that's what we have for today. My mom is gonna guide me. Have patience with me. I'm still learning to cook, but we're gonna take it on today. So that's what we're making today. So stay tuned to see what we make and how we make it. You cut up the cabbage from this to this. Then the night before we let this meat unfreeze. Then you get gloves and you put your hands in it and you mash it up. After that, you come over here, you slice up garlic and onions, round onions, and then you put butter, mantequilla, and then I asked my mom, how much of this do I put? She said, like this. That's literally how it be. So put comino, in Spanish, more garlic, and more comino. What is it then, Mom? Sesame. Sesame? Okay, sesame. And then you mix this while it heats up. Suave. ¿Cómo? Suave. Because I'm not a cooker, but I'm learning to cook and a cooker. And I have rough hands and I'm just like, ah! And so she was like, softly. Now it's boiling, yes. When boiling, now you grab the cabbage and you pour it in here, which is hard to do with one hand, but slowly. And you make a mess like me. That's okay. Ahora qué más? Then you have to mix, and let it get wet. And you have to let it boil about 10 minutes. So apaga esa vaina. Okay, so then you just mix and then you let it boil for 10 minutes. And when it boils, I'll show you what we do next. Keep stirring it, mixing it. And you gotta put it on medium, Mom? Medium. Coming along nicely, but it still has some time to go, so we're gonna give it some time. And we're gonna put this on medium for now when it just begins. And then when it starts really cooking up, we're gonna put it on high, right, Mommy? High. So for this, make sure that while you're cooking and everything, you clean up your mess from the previous stuff you just did. Like I just did this whole mess, so make sure you clean as you go when you cook. I think if you cook, you know that that's a great tool to use. Remember to put pepper in there and to mix it into the cabbage to give it more flavor, because we want more flavor. And then when you mix, I'm not left-handed, so that's why you cover it and let it gives it more flavor. The ground beef, it's still on medium, and you just mix it around. Keep mixing it. Cut onions and make sure it's as small as you can get it, because you're gonna put in the ground beef to give it flavor. You want to make sure that you have cut up half of the onions. And slice it and put it into your ground beef. You want to mix very carefully, as my mom says. So I was like, put in half of un caldo Maggi, which is, let me get translation, which is this chicken bouillon cubes for the flavor. So half of it. You give it some time to get softer. And then you are gonna pound it like that. Not pound, like lean on it. I don't know the word. Whatever. Make it disappear into the ground beef. And you also want to put pepper in the ground beef. I'm gonna put comino. I think you say cumin in English. And then, once again, Mom, how much do you put? She's like, you feel it in your soul. And then you put garlic. You don't put salt? No salt. Because the Maggi, the chicken bouillon bar, gives it salt. Now you let it boil until it's cooked. So how do you know if it's cooked? When it's cooked? So when it's all brown, not red. It's cooked. It's not ready because it's red.
Si ve que suelta el caldito lo que le da el sabor ahorita cuando mezclemos todo.
Taste test, and it's not good enough with the salt or the Maggi or the chicken bouillon. It doesn't have enough salt, so we're just gonna add the other half. So basically, revise and put a whole Maggi, so a whole chicken bouillon bar in there. Get more salt because it wasn't salty enough. You don't want to get it too salty, but you also don't want to get it with no flavor. It's looking good. It's almost ready. How do you know when it's ready?
Porque se disminuye el tamaño, ya está muy chiquitito y bien jugoso.
So when the cabbage it gets smaller, like and it gets like juicier, so that's when you know it's ready. Does the color change?
Se pone brillante.
It becomes shiny and whiter because it was green, huh? No, it's still green. Okay, I'm colorblind. Okay. So basically, make sure you clean as you work and you wash your dishes.
Porque tú cocinas sano, rico y se demora 3 horas cocinando, 5 minutos comiendo, pero sabe que lo que come es nutritivo.
So basically, Mama's saying, she's speaking some truth. She's saying cooking takes a long time. Like we've been at this for an hour and a half, but she says that it's worth it because it's good food. You know it's healthy. You know what you put in it. So cooking's definitely worth it. Yeah. And you eat it in 5 minutes, something you cooked for an hour and a half or longer, but it's tasty and you know that you're giving your body nutrition. Yeah, this is how your dishes should look when you're done cooking. Clean! Do it right there, don't leave it for later. And you want to put laurel, which is little leaves, into the ground beef, which make it delicious. It's the last touch, the finishing touch. And then you let it boil for 5 more minutes and then it'll be ready. Ready? Nice and ready. And then the ground beef is ready too. You see the color, it's brown now. And then you add the cabbage to the ground beef. And you mix.
Si quiere más carne que ¿cómo se llama eso?
Cabbage.
Que repollo, entonces le coloca un poquito de repollo. Pero si quiere parejo, le pone más.
Okay, it depends on what you like. If you like a lot of cabbage, you put a lot of cabbage. If you like a little, you put a little and you put more ground beef.
Y después o puede comer el cabbage solito y la carne sola.
And if you don't like to mix your foods, that's fine. You can eat it separate, but we mix.
Porque por lo general los muchachos no les gusta comerse el cabbage solo. Entonces mezclado se lo comen todo y no se dan cuenta.
Nice. So my mom said that for little kids, they don't like cabbage. And so there's an appeal to them. So you mix it with the ground beef and they actually will eat the cabbage too. So that's a trick. Parenting tricks. Avocado and with rice. We finished. Whew. After an hour and a half of cooking, my legs hurt. Lord, I'm starving, but it's done. I did it. We did it with the help of my mom. So now we have the finished dish here. I'm going to show it to you. So we have the cabbage with ground beef. We have white rice. And the good thing is the white rice, we want to keep control of our portion sizes. So we have white rice, a little bit of white rice, and more greens, more cabbage. And I'm trying to switch to multigrain or brown rice, but I'm not there yet, so baby steps. And then you can add a dot of ketchup on top, a little bit. And then we accompanied by an avocado. And that's about it. So I feel so accomplished. I put this in my mental book of cooking so I can do it. And now I can do it on my own. So if you have a mom and she knows how to cook, you really should cherish the time in the kitchen instead of letting her do it all herself. Go with her and learn with her so that in the future you can teach your kids how to cook and you can cook for your kids. 3 spoons into my dish. And I really... It's really good. You would think, like, I don't really like cabbage, like I never eat cabbage, but when you put it like in this setting with this food and the flavors, I can handle it. Eat more greens.